I'm Teresa Meddy, the Senior Vice President and Chief Procurement Officer for Motorola. We're very excited to be here today to present to you Mint, which is Motorola's internet negotiation tool. We're going to show you how it really reinvented the supplier negotiation and strategic sourcing optimization process at Motorola. This morning we'll explain how Mint helped us really frankly survive the disastrous downturn of the telecommunications industry in 2001, what we now refer to as the perfect storm. We'll share with you the challenges we faced and how we utilized Mint to deliver more than $600 million in savings. So Moto Next. What was next for Motorola? What would we do to survive and really differentiate ourselves? And that was the question on everyone's mind 3 years ago. We knew if we could find a way to more efficiently and effectively leverage more of our purchases that we could have an enormous impact on profitability and on market share. The question was how. Now, to give you a sense of the size and scale and complexity of procurement at Motorola, let me give you some facts. We spend $17 billion a year on goods and services and materials which support our $27 billion in revenue. We have 44,000 suppliers supporting 77 different categories of spend, 1,200 procurement associates in 24 different countries around the world are buying more than 300,000 different items every year. So we needed a solution that could handle the very large and complex semiconductor sourcing events to the smallest one-time prototype buys. We needed the ability to analyze and optimize our purchases like we never had before, and we needed to do things that humans couldn't accomplish and do it quickly. The Mint solution that we're presenting to you here today was the answer, and it's the perfect solution. In fact, last week we announced our first quarter 2004 earnings of 25 cents a share, which was a 257% increase over the first quarter of 2003. And Mint had a great deal of impact on those numbers, as you'll see in a moment. Now, nobody tells our perfect storm story with the passion and enthusiasm of my boss, which is the President and Chief Operating Officer of Motorola, Mike Zafrowski. He's a big believer in and a great supporter of Mint. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here to address you on video is the President of Motorola.
Good morning. Thank you for selecting Motorola as a finalist for this distinguished award. Now, I regret I can't join Teresa and the team in presenting our result. But as you know, rule number one in operational excellence, the customer always comes first. Nevertheless, I did not want to miss this opportunity to deliver the message. Now, for those of you familiar with the Six Sigma business improvement methodology, you know that Motorola is its birthplace. Today, Six Sigma is perhaps the world's most adopted business best practice, and it continues to evolve. One of the vital few areas in which Motorola leverages Six Sigma is procurement. Now, flash back with me to 2001. In the wake of the dot-com and telecom busts, we faced new, hungry competitors, overcapacity, in an uncertain marketplace, nervously confronting new threats, terrorism, economic upheaval, and public trust shaken by corporate scandal. Now, to borrow from a Hollywood film, high tech was facing the perfect storm. And Motorola found itself in rough seas. But as the movie illustrates, a threat to your survival is a unique way of focusing the mind. Now, that happened here as well. But thankfully, that's where the similarities end. Unlike the Hollywood version, our story will have a happy ending. Early on, when the storm's cloud grew ominous on the horizon, we recognized the need to urgently reduce costs, as well as to improve operating efficiencies. At that time, analysts and investors frowned on the telecom sector. But as the team will explain in the next 30 minutes or so, telecom and IT technology played a critical role in our turnaround. Our global procurement team applied Six Sigma analytical rigor to attack the company's sourcing process. Now, one of those tools stands out, and we're here today to share our success with you. The Motorola Internet Negotiations Tool, or Mint, appropriately abbreviated, has saved us hundreds of millions in procurement dollars. Now, our CFO, Dave Demershire, will tell you more specifics, and I do not want to steal his thunder during a perfect storm analogy. But what I will say is that procurement is one of three vital few areas We are targeting at Motorola to realize annual cost savings of $3 billion or more by the end of 2005. Mint plays an important role in reaching that goal. With it, we've brought aggressive cost competitiveness and cost analysis to our sourcing process. We apply the power and efficiency of the internet to deliver a new level of compliance across the corporation. Excellence in procurement, like most aspects of business, is about cultivating successful relationships. Now, we can't afford to damage supply relationships as we pursue low-cost solutions. Don't get me wrong, pricing is important, but quality of product, timely delivery, volume, flexibility, they all factor into the supplier equation. Early on, our supply chain partners learned that our internet negotiations tool went well beyond electronic bidding. In 2003, we conducted electronic requests for quotes more than 50 times per month. We used electronic wizards to calculate potential scenarios and outcomes, helping our procurement team to make the best decisions. Right now, over 80% of our direct materials is quoted, bid for, and procured online. With the help of our procurement team and the Mint system, we're navigating our way out of the telecom's perfect storm, and we're charting a course to success. Again, thank you to Informs and to the judges for honoring us as a finalist for this award. I know you'll be as excited as I am with what the team will have to share with you. Thank you for your consideration, and good luck, team.
Thanks, Mike. To fully appreciate what Mint did for us, we have to first really understand the magnitude of the perfect storm that we were facing in 2001. First, the market had collapsed. Cell phone industry fell alone by 1/3. Telecommunication carriers were cutting back on infrastructure investments. And at the same time, we discovered our products, quite frankly, were not competitive. And last, we were struggling with internal complications driven by inefficient processes and resource reductions, which meant there were fewer buyers to negotiate with suppliers. So trouble was brewing and rough seas lay ahead. Any one of these forces would have been very impactful, but the three happening at the same time was devastating. So we needed to act quickly if we were to navigate our way out. So the equation's simple. Since the revenue line was not growing, in fact, just the opposite, we would need to achieve our earnings target by reducing costs. And that's exactly what we did. We knew that every dollar saved would be equivalent to $12 in new revenue. So for Motorola to deliver the same earnings to the bottom line that we achieved through Mint, we would have had to increase revenue by $7.5 billion. So we've had to reinvent the sourcing process. We had to do more with less and do it now. Reduce costs quickly, take advantage of market overcapacity, overcome the complexities in our sourcing process, and make our supplier collaboration and negotiations more efficient and more effective, and do all this with a drastically reduced workforce. So with all this complexity, as the slide describes, in parts, in people, in suppliers, in locations, we needed a solution that would not only optimize the total cost of ownership, but the supplier collaboration and negotiation process as well. It became clear that this was a large and complex problem that required a very robust solution with global capability. mTORIS was selected unanimously after an exhaustive evaluation process. I'll share the precise results at the end of our presentation, but let me tell you that we're talking about huge numbers. Billions of dollars in purchases and hundreds of millions of dollars in savings. What was needed, and in fact what really occurred, is a paradigm shift for us and for our suppliers. We've shortened the cycle time for collaboration and negotiation. We've empowered our suppliers to respond more creatively to our needs, going far beyond price. And we've equipped our buyers with strong optimization and analytical tools to explore all the available options to achieve maximum value. Now, before we conclude, I'd like to show you a short video clip from our Chief Financial Officer. He'll attest to the savings and the significance of the Mint solution to Motorola. Let me preface this video with a short description of Dave. In the true fashion of a CFO, He's a numbers guy. Not a lot of flash, but he does let the numbers do the talking, and the numbers are big. And under his leadership, Motorola's conserved over $8 billion in cash, which has reassured the markets that Motorola can meet serious financial commitments and invest heavily if it chooses. And now the Chief Financial Officer for Motorola, Dave Devonshire.
It's an honor for us that you selected Motorola as a finalist in the prestigious Edelman Award competition. Thank you very much. As the Chief Financial Officer, I know that a world-class procurement function enables smart companies to win in the marketplace. Cost-competitive procurement of materials and services helps drive strong margins and in turn improve operating earnings and cash flow. So how does a company leverage the full value of procurement? One way is to think outside the box and challenge traditional processes. That's how we developed the Motorola Internet Negotiating Tool, called Mint for short. It harnesses the power of the Internet to substantially lower our internal transactional costs and obtain competitive advantage. By any measure, the impact of this innovation is huge. Motorola's annual expenses for materials and services total about $17 billion. Our Mint system currently processes about $9 billion of it electronically, and that figure is growing. Over the past 3 years, we've saved more than $600 million. In 2003 alone, our procurement team conducted nearly 500 electronic sourcing events. Savings are realized not only in pricing, but also in reduced travel, improved cycle time, and significantly higher operating efficiency. Every aspect of our procurement process is optimized as never before, thanks to the Mint system. The Motorola Internet Negotiating Tool has broad and deep impact across the entire corporation. In many ways, it's changing our culture and the way we compete. But these results don't just happen. They're achieved through a strategic combination of leading-edge processes, savvy people, and innovative technology. Even financial analysts have acknowledged the impact of Mint and the role it plays in helping Motorola compete more successfully than ever in the global marketplace. Thanks again for the opportunity to tell you about the Motorola Internet Negotiation Tool. We're very proud of what the procurement team has accomplished for the corporation. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Well, I'm a bottom line numbers person, so let me summarize our results for you. To date, we've negotiated over $16 billion online, saving well over $600 million. Motorola steadily has increased the percentage of our spend sourced online. And in 2003, the figure was 80% of our direct materials and 50% of our total overall purchases, and that continues to grow. The number of different categories of spend negotiating using Mint is significant. Nearly every category has gone through the Mint tool. In 2003, it was used in sourcing events from less than $2,000 to well over $2 billion. 600 employees of Motorola and 1,000 suppliers utilize Mint in nearly 500 sourcing events. And the return on investment is overwhelmingly and undeniably compelling. We invested less than $10 million 2 years ago, and we've achieved more than $600 million in savings. Now, although we already address a remarkable percentage of our spend online, we intend to continue to deploy Mint to commodities that are not fully leveraged today. We believe it's imperative and possible to use Mint for 100% of our purchases, for existing and for new products. And we'll be able to manage changes in the supply base which are driven by new technologies or geographical shifts. And we'll be able to reevaluate previous sourcing decisions that were optimal at one time but may no longer be because of changes in market conditions or in our demand. And we're very excited about the future prospects of Mint.